Being a black man is not just their skin, it's being able to survive. Being a black man is being able to mentally create a system within inside a system which benefits mind, body, and soul. Being a black man is to understand that this system which presents itself as superior is ultimately a lie. Consciously or subconsciously, me as a black man, I sometimes feel I need to wear a mask. This invisible mask acts as a shield, a defense, a persona, in order to cover up my one true blackness. Some black men feel that if this mask is removed, one will feel isolated, singled out, victimized, and ultimately, no one. Many black men detest this mask. However, when a black man's family and survival is at stake on a daily basis, one will do what one will have to do. In the eyes of this system, a black man is someone to fear, someone to hate, someone to be forgotten. However, to me, being a black man is someone who disconnects every negative connection that's been placed on him, and mentally creates a new perception of self that he's been told to hate. And it's this very perception, this very mentality that frees me. I define me .
What it is to be a black man is to learn how to navigate through a bunch of hurdles that this society has given you from a very, very young age. Being a black man in the society in which we live is a challenge. You have to be quite thick-skinned. You have to be strong. I know a lot of black men who have, I guess, fallen victim to the society in which they live due to, circumstances and all kinds of stuff. So you have to learn to be mentally strong. Not all of us are. You have to learn to also love. You have to learn to forgive. You have to learn to know yourself, I think, as a black man. Being a black man in society means you are going to be faced with a lot of negative energy, not because you've actually done anything wrong, but just because of the way society perceives you. Being a black man to me is being 13 years old and walking with my friends down the street and the police pulling over to ask us some questions. I had my afro comb when I had hair, the one with the fist. The police officer said, "Do I have any weapons on me?" And I said no. And he said, "Could you empty your pockets?" And I emptied my pocket and my afro comb came out of my pocket, and he looked at me and said, "That looks like a weapon to me." My friend looked at him, they looked at me, I looked at him, and I said, "It's a comb." And he said, "How do I know that?" I didn't understand, but it was at that point, after analysing it, I realised that he saw something that I didn't see. And I think being a black man in a society is interacting with people that see something that you don't see. Every black man, I would say, has been seen a certain way when they're not that way, and felt the energy of a person perceiving them a certain way even though they're not doing anything. I see myself as a provider, as a father. I see myself as a Rubik's Cube of emotion. Probably doesn't make any sense, but there's so many sides to me as a black man in this society that, you know, I could be any one of them. It's a mask or a persona that you have to put on depending on which environment that you're in. Like a chameleon, that's how I see myself. I see myself as someone who's able to adapt to any situation that the society throws at me, whether it be street, corporate, or anything in between. I think I see myself as a thinker. My role models today, people who are living, I have dead and living role models. My first living role model today would probably be my mother. She has done a lot with a little. She made the best out of having 5 children and no fathers around. I'm a father myself. It's hard for me, and I can't imagine what it must have been like having 5 children by yourself. So she would be someone who I would give a lot of credit to. People who I aspire to be like, who are no longer with her, I would say Sa Ra Garvey. He done so much for black people at a time where they were quite fragmented and going through so much. I would say Thomas Sankara would be a second one. I mean, most of my role models are people who actively try to seek to keep black people in a good position or uplift them. Ashra Kwesi, who is a current role model of mine, who is actually living still today, and his teacher, Dr. Ben, who has already passed, would be another role model of mine. These people are important to me because they embody unity, purpose, and they embody love for their people, and that's what I'm about. I'm about purpose and love for my people, so this is why these people's energies resonate with mine.